Hello Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So Pisces, today we're going to go over your energy as well as your person's energy. We're going to see how the both of you are currently viewing this relationship and how you guys feel about it and what actions you guys plan on taking each other's direction and are moving forward. So with all that being said, Pisces, let's get started. How does Pisces currently view this relationship? Let's see what's going on. All right, Pisces. All right, so the fact that you're harnessing the Two of Wands, Pisces, that's kind of telling me that you're very, very indecisive about something. You're very, very indecisive about something. And to be honest, I'm not entirely sure why. I do feel like it does involve another person that you're very, very indecisive about. I am definitely getting that. But whoever this person is, it's somebody that you're familiar with. It's somebody that you have history with. It does appear to me that this dynamic between the two of you just hasn't been serving you in any way, shape, and or form. So as to why you're indecisive about what you should do about your current situation, or what you should do about this person, I'm not entirely sure why that's showing up here for you, because you're harnessing, you know, two energies that basically describes somebody who's like very, very indecisive. Should I stay or should I go? Should I go left or should I go right? Should I do this or should I do that? Like, it has that type of feel to it. I think that it's going to come out when we look into how you feel, why you're so indecisive about this dynamic that you currently find yourself in with this individual that's just simply not serving you in any way, shape, and or form. Yeah, okay, so let's look at this person. How does this person currently view this relationship? Let's see what's going on with them. Okay, so we have so this person comes off to me as somebody who's like very crystal clear, I would say, on like what it is that they essentially want, okay? So let's talk about it. It looks like all this person truly wants is a healthy and stable dynamic here with you, Pisces. And with the Five of Pentacles coming out here, that's kind of telling me that they currently don't have that with you, nor do you even feel like you have that with them, right? But yeah, very crystal clear on what they essentially want. They just want a very healthy and stable, you know, dynamic here. You know, that's what this person has always essentially wanted with the star coming out here. The star basically speaks of, you know, wish fulfillment. Kind of looks like all this person, like I said, Pisces truly wants is something very healthy and stable, you know, with you is basically what I'm getting. Nothing more and nothing less. And it kind of looks like this person has been striving towards establishing that with you as far as like a healthy and stable relationship is concerned. A lot of you might feel like that's not the case. I mean, considering the fact that you do have the Five of Pentacles out here, I mean, a lot of you might feel like that's not the case, that this person's not trying to strive towards a healthy and or stable relationship with you, hence why you're contemplating what you should do about your current situation with this individual. But yeah, let's look into how you're currently feeling. How does Pisces currently feel? Okay, so we have the King of Swords, we have the Three of Cups, and then we also have the King of Pentacles. At the bottom of the deck, we do have the Queen of Swords, and then we also have the Ten of Swords out here. Okay, so Pisces, you're currently harnessing Queen of Swords energy, and the Queen of Swords, you know, unfortunately can be very, very indecisive at times, which we already established that, you know, you are definitely very, very indecisive right now when it comes down to your current situation with this person and what you should do and how you know, should proceed forward, you know, things of that nature. Now, it kind of looks like you're leaning far more towards walking away from this entire situation. And with the King of Swords to the Three of Cups to the King of Pentacles coming out here, I'm not entirely sure who these people are to you. It could be family members, it could be friends, but it kind of looks like there's people in your life that are essentially encouraging you to walk away from this dynamic that you currently find yourself in. But see, that's the thing, is that even though you have people in your life that are essentially encouraging you to leave this dynamic that you currently find yourself in, it kind of looks like you're unsure if that's what you actually want to essentially do. Let's look at this person's energy. How does this person currently feel? All right, so we do have the Seven of Wands, we do have the Eight of Wands, and then we also have the Magician out here. So with the Seven of Wands to the Eight of Wands, that creates an Ace of Wands at play, which speaks of our own personal wants and desires. Now, what this person has been trying to essentially manifest, right, with you into fruition, you know, it's something that... it's something that they essentially feel is kind of hard to like pull off and or manifest into fruition here with you. For whatever reason, they find this to be like remotely impossible as far as like manifesting that healthy and stable relationship that they truly want and desire, you know, with you. And the reason why this person feels like it's like remotely impossible, I guess, to manifest and create the dynamic that they truly want with you has a lot to do with the fact that this person feels that they've honestly tried many times in the past to manifest and create the type of relationship slash life that they essentially want with you with no success whatsoever. So as much as this person may want to manifest and create a healthy and, you know, stable relationship with you, they feel like it's at this point remotely impossible to essentially make that happen. And it could be, you know what I mean, something that you're doing possibly on your end that's causing this person to feel like it's just impossible for them to manifest and create the relationship they truly want and desire with you. Just like a lot of you might find yourself essentially feeling like this person doesn't honestly try to manifest and create a healthy and stable relationship with you. So I think it's safe to say, that you've tried and they've tried, but it doesn't matter how hard they try, you know, they're just simply not getting the outcome that they want. And the same applies for you. It's like, no matter how hard you try, you're just not getting the outcome that you want out of, you know, this dynamic here between the two of you. All right, what actions will Pisces take towards this person or moving forward? So we do have the Seven of Pentacles. We also have the Wheel of Fortune, and then we also have the Ten of Wands. So this is basically phases that you're going through in the near future, okay? With the Seven of Pentacles coming out here, this is the epitome of you deciding in the end to continue to invest more time and energy towards this. You've already invested a lot of time and energy towards this dynamic between the two of you thus far, and you want it to essentially count for something. You're not ready to like, what's the word I'm looking for? You're not ready to, you know, part ways from this person. You're not ready to like just simply cut your losses and just call it a day, okay? It just kind of looks like in the end you will essentially decide to continue to invest more time and energy towards this, and it's in the name of, well, I hope, you know what I mean, things get better, or I hope, you know, things eventually start to go my way now. Like it has that type of feel to it. But with the Ten of Wands coming out here, that's kind of telling me that you're not really getting the outcome that you essentially want. So let's look a little bit more into that. Tell me more about the Ten of Wands. The reason why a lot of you, you know, are in the end are going to find yourself essentially feeling like you're not getting the outcome that you want is because you basically find yourself essentially feeling like you're the only one putting forth the time, energy, and effort towards trying to build towards something stable with this person, and they're not helping and they're not participating. So, and I was kind of getting that, right? Where it's like they could be doing something on their end that does cause you to essentially feel like, you see, they're not trying to make this work. You see, like they're just bringing toxicity and chaos and dysfunction into the marriage, into the relationship. But I am definitely getting that the same message applies vice versa, where there's times where this person tries to build and establish a life that they want with you, and then maybe something happens on your end causing this person to feel like, you see, like I'm trying here, but you know, Pisces is doing this, Pisces is doing that. I think that the both of you want the exact same things. I just think that it's kind of hard for the two of you to like get on the same page. That's kind of like the problem here. Because the desire on your end and on their end, it's there. If the desire wasn't there, then that would have been a different story. But the desire is definitely on your end to try to build and establish a relationship you want with this person, and the desire is definitely there when it comes down to this individual that you find yourself connecting with as well. So yeah, moral of the story is that the desire is definitely there. The problem is that you guys are just simply not on the same page. Is basically what I'm getting. You guys have a very difficult time, you know, getting on the same page with one another. What actions will this person take towards Pisces or moving forward? So we have the Ace of Pentacles to the Ten of Cups, and then we also have the Strength card out here. Okay. So in regards to how this person, right, plans on moving forward, again, these are just kind of phases that this person's basically going through. Same thing that I said for you, right? It's like, I do see you guys picking up where you guys left off of one another. I do see the two of you striving to try to essentially make this dynamic between the two of you essentially work. However, do you really think that it's going to work out moving forward? There's a portion of you that feels like, no, it's not going to work out. Same applies for this person, right? There's a big, part of this person that also feels like it's just not going to work out, between you and this person. But it kind of looks like the two of you are attempting, I would say, to essentially try again in hopes that you guys get a different outcome. But I just don't see you guys getting a different outcome. And it's not because you don't want a different outcome. It's not because they don't want a different outcome. I just kind of feel like the two of you have a very difficult time meeting one another halfway. I think that the two of you have a very difficult time getting on the same page as one another. If you can meet this person halfway and they can meet you halfway, if the two of you guys can find a way to get on the same page as one another, the two of you can definitely make this happen. The two of you can definitely execute this. But that's just kind of what it requires, right? Is for you to meet them halfway and for them to essentially meet you halfway in order for this to work. It's basically what I'm honestly getting, to be completely honest. That's all that it essentially takes. Now, do I see the two of you having another moment where you guys find yourselves essentially feeling like, you see, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Yes. Do I think that the relationship in itself is going to ultimately come to an end for good when this moment does essentially occur within this dynamic between the two of you? No, not really. It just kind of looks like neither one of you know how to essentially give up, which kind of makes sense now that I think about it, because you're showing up as an emperor regardless of your gender, male or female, doesn't matter. We all have masculine and feminine energy within us. And this person's harnessing Empress energy. The person that's in the Strength card is the Empress. So when it comes on to the Emperor to the Empress, these are two people that when they have like their mind dead set on something, they're very determined to make that happen. Like, they don't really give a shit about the amount of obstacles that are in their way. They're gonna get what they want at the end of the day. So you could throw a curveball in their direction. They're still going to make sure that they end up getting what they want in the end. Vice versa. They could throw a curveball in your direction. You're still going to end up getting what it is that you essentially want in the end, because that's just kind of how the way that you guys are as an individual, or as individuals, as I should say. When you guys want something, you guys are very determined to make it happen no matter what the hell's being thrown in your direction or in their direction. And when it comes down to this dynamic between the two of you, it's something that the both of you essentially want. Okay. So even though, you guys experience your moments of adversity with one another, and you guys might find yourselves getting discouraged along the way, is it ever going to prompt the two of you to officially give up on one another? I'm gonna go ahead and say no. I think that you guys are way too attached to like what you guys want with one another and what you guys can see yourselves having with one another, because you think, what you see yourself having with this person is something that is obtainable, and they feel the exact same way as well. So because you guys are both looking at what you guys both essentially want with one another as something that is possible and obtainable, y'all are going to do whatever it takes to make sure that it happens, to make sure that you guys get there. So with that being said, do I see the two of you eventually coming to an end? I'm gonna go ahead and say no. Do I see you deciding to just walk away in the end? No. No, I just don't. I just think that the two of you are very, very attached to what it is that you guys truly want and desire with one another, to the point where giving up is just no longer an option, is basically what I'm getting. All right, so that is what I have for you. Hopefully the reading helped. Hopefully it resonated, and I will see you guys in your next reading. Bye.